Hello and welcome to the Lost Art Podcast. I'm Gar, I suppose.
I'm Paul.
It's another one of those daytime podcasts.
You haven't quite woken up, which is probably good for this one.
More than likely.
That we're not drunk for this one.
Not too sharp or drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing another daytime one, so we're drinking coffee.
Lovely coffee.
Instead of drinking pints. I don't know if I'm into it, but I definitely would not be into drinking pints at this hour of the day.
No.
Let's put it that way.
Sitting in Slattery's.
It's not a wedding.
Sitting in Slattery's. Or, I'm at the airport, therefore I have to drink a pint.
Fuck off.
You don't have to drink a pint
The
at the
only
airport,
reason to go to the pub in the airport is to go out the back and have a smoke.
Yeah.
That's fucking it.
Yeah.
To go out into that poxy fucking wooden decked kip and have a smoke. Even if you don't smoke.
That was genius making that.
Of course it was.
You know.
Even if you don't smoke, just to get outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to be stuck in a fucking cigar tube of death for the next X amount of hours. Like, spend as much time in the fresh air as possible. Surrounded by smokers.
You don't like flying, you don't?
Like what?
You don't like flying,
I thought you said I don't like slime. I was like, I'm not mad in the slime.
You love slime.
Well, it depends on the slime, lad.
Okay.
But, I'm mad in the slime wave. It's my favourite thing.
Thanks for teaching me what that was.
Yeah.
Don't Google that.
Don't Google slime wave. I hate flying. I hate it. I hate it so much.
You're like Mr. T.
I'm a bit like Mr. T. Except I get, what do I get? I get Valium when I have to go flying. I go to the doctor and get Valium.
Give me some of them.
I can't. Valium's incredible. I'm not into drugs, but I'm into Valium. Everything's just fine.
I can be a nervous flyer, but only a little bit. I think probably as much as the average person I'm nervous about. But
there's no part of flying I like. I get in the plane and I start panicking.
Yeah.
And the takeoff.
That isn't weird.
You can feel the immense power from these engines just fucking hurling you into space, right? And you're like fucking bet back into the chair. And then when you do level out and the captain comes on and he's like, oh, you know, weather is this, that and the other, and we've got a 6-hour easy journey now to blah, blah, blah. I spend every single second of that journey waiting on the inevitable and the hurtle through fucking space to my death, right? So even when I'm like, if I have to get up and go to the toilet, or I'm just going to stretch my legs or whatever, I'm gripping onto stuff like a death grip.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm going to have to the plane's going to be upside down, and I'm going to have to pull myself via the chairs back to my chair to strap myself in to die in a sea, so my man and dad have something to bury. And then when we're landing, at least the landing, there's something about every second you're getting closer to the ground. Therefore, if you do crash, you might get away with it.
There's one story in this podcast that's going to fucking freak you out.
I haven't been in a plane in 6-7 years.
So tell the people what we're doing.
We are doing, what did we decide to call it?
We're calling it Not Well. So artists who have struggled with mental illness or just basically carved a career for themselves, either maybe carved themselves a career from it, sometimes in some cases it actually helped, and then sometimes it ended their career. So it's about mental illness. Not that we have a fucking clue about it, to be honest with you. You don't have any mental health issues. You just ignore anything that ever bad happens to you, don't you?
Me, yeah.
Just push it under the carpet.
No, I have to be real good. I'm doing my absolute best.
I know, that's why I want to get them out
I know.
early.
Like, my skin is crawling doing this one. Skin is fucking crawling. My spine is dying to get out me.
Well, you sound like some of the people that we researched today already.
Yeah, no, listen, it's definitely a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
After this, have you researched these guys? Do you still not think mental illness is real?
No, I need to understand that, when I was a kid, everybody was just mad. There was just mad people. There was no names for it. There was just mad There's how many throw stones at cars. He's just mad.
John.
Well, yeah, exactly. There's Mad Christie. Stay away from Mad Christie. He pulls people down lanes. Now there's names for everything that they had, and treatments.
Which is helpful for us and them.
Yeah, hopefully, a lot of these people didn't take help well, did not take help well. So yeah, they're people who suffer from mental illness, or they're just fucking mad. They're just not well. They're just not well.
I get a lot of anxiety, probably more than your average person, I'd say, but I just have to learn how to live with it.
I definitely feel, I have emotions now, I feel anxiety.
No, you do not.
I feel anxiety, but I just do it. Just get over it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what happens to me. I get real anxious about something, and I'll be thinking, say I'm starting a new DJ night or something like that, and I'm inside it's crawling.
Oh yeah,
right?
I still get that.
Crawling, and I'm like, all I do is just need a shy for 6 hours. That's all that happens to me.
6 hour shy?
I just hold on to it. I don't actually need a shy. It's just my body saying, Jesus, just get the fuck out of here. That's why whenever if I go anywhere,
you can shit your anxiety out of you.
Well, no, because even if I do have a shite, within 5 minutes I need another one. It's not real. This is just the way my body reacts to the anxiety in my head.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I know. So whenever I go somewhere, I have to take Imodium, Zantac, Rennies, painkillers. Like I have to have like the go bag of medicine.
Oh, I do that as well because
You know
of
what I
my
mean?
sinuses.
Yeah.
Then the rest of it, once you start bringing them, you start bringing other stuff as well.
Exactly. Like literally have a little nurse's satchel like full of shite that goes everywhere. with me.
Suppositories,
Fucking dildos,
little
whatever.
things for cuts, little plasters,
Whatever.
and little
Super
bit of
glue.
alcohol, rubbing
Yeah,
alcohol,
yeah.
all
A
of it.
gun.
Yeah,
You know.
Till you've got a backpack of like
It's my go bag.
a sick child.
It's my
You've a sick
doomsday
child bag.
Yeah, my doomsday prepper fucking backpack is what I have. It literally
If
has
someone
everything
else that you didn't know that well in the crowd was hurt, would you give them any of your stuff?
Oh yeah.
That you'd like
That's
that.
an excuse to go out and buy
go-
more. Then there might be something new and,
it
cool.
it became necessary.
Yeah, I'd be a field doctor. I
It
don't give a fuck.
necessitated itself.
Yeah. Oh, listen, I done some fucking. I'll tell you, some field doctoring that I done in the past. I'll tell you another time that when the ambulance arrived, looked at me and nearly fucking locked me up as well. Like, I'll tell you that later. Anyway, let's get straight into this. Who is your first one?
My first one is Rocky Erickson, who is a Texas-based musician who was he wrote "If You Have Ghosts" by that Ghost cover. And,
I always thought he was European.
well, I would have thought he was Swedish with a name like Rocky
Yeah, with the
Erickson.
name.
With it, R-O-K-Y. Well, that wasn't his real name. Rocky, I can't remember what his real name was.
Balboa.
But Erickson was the second
Sylvester.
name. But it is very... and normally
very European.
they cover a lot of Swedish artists as well.
It's usually European bands that they cover. That's why I always thought.
would have thought that as well. But then he died last year.
He did.
And it was actually a little bit before that I knew that. I kind of researched him because I wanted to know. There's some great documentaries out there on Rocky Erickson because he's considered one of acid's first casualties. Like one of the first acid casualties, and a couple of acid casualties on mine where the mental illness is almost undoubtedly come from breaking your own brain. Now maybe it unlocked what was already to come sooner.
Maybe.
I don't know. Or maybe everyone has schizophrenia.
I think
in them.
everybody has the potential to be batshit. And it's
I
just,
think everyone has schizophrenia in them.
Yeah.
And it can be unlocked
course.
in your brain. That's
Of course.
terrifying.
Yeah. 100%.
Something really bad could happen to you, or you could do too many drugs. I think
everything is in everybody. I don't think you get it via external sources. I think it just gets unlocked. You know, that might sound a bit fucking Scientology.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
A bit, yeah, with a fucking box flavour
Fanny
candle and
candle.
all. Yeah, Jesus. Which sold out in like 3 hours. Imagine buying
She
a candle.
bought that herself.
She probably had bought them back to get them off the fucking market. Yeah, I think most of that stuff is just...
She's mentally ill.
Is she though?
She's mentally ill.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I do.
I think she's just a chancer.
I hope she's just a chancer.
Well, a load of her stuff is to do with her box though. Do you ever notice that?
Mad into eggs, putting porous eggs up her box.
Yeah.
As well as that, she posted something a while ago going, and I don't know much about science, I really don't, but she went, I like to wake up in the morning and have an alkaline water with a twist of lemon, and someone went, that will negate the whole idea
that's just water then.
of both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Straight up just water.
You fill.
You put acid in alkaline base. You fuck me. Alright. So Rocky
was in a band called the 13th Floor Elevators, who are considered the originators of psychedelic music, believe it or not. I wouldn't thought they were like one of the original ones, but they were very, very, very much into LSD. And he was in a band with a guy who was a psychiatrist, actually, or a trainee psychiatrist, who introduced him to LSD. So that's a fucking irony. Sad irony. So they were mad into LSD, weed, and mescaline. And he basically got so far out of his mind that he couldn't find his way back into it. Basically, that's just it. And what happened was, to make it worse, in 1969 he was charged with possession of one marijuana joint.
is it mad they could do you for that?
Well, see, the problem is they were going around telling everyone, drugs are cool. And they brought too much attention to themselves. So the cops just went, we'll follow any
Rap
of them.
snitches.
Follow, ratting on them own selves. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia. That's a little bit after. What was he? He to avoid going to jail, he pleaded insanity.
Okay.
And they put him in jail.
Like mad people jail or
Mad people jail, okay. Yeah, where he escaped a few times, and they started to give him electroshock therapy and Thorazine. Now, I don't know anything about electric shock therapy at all.
It's no crack.
But like, it has a real... I had a real quick read about it, you know what I mean? Because it has a public perception of being awful, and all your favourite...
Apparently it can work.
All your favourite characters in TV shows get put against their will.
Oh yeah, if you see it in a film...
Basically lobotomizes them for life.
Yeah, if you see it in a film, it's certainly no crack.
But apparently it can absolutely stop seizures.
Absolutely,
and, So just to throw that in there about that. But by that stage, he was schizophrenic, and he was diagnosed there. But he was kept there for a few years, but he was still recording tracks and writing poetry and leaking it to his family. Weird. They were keeping it for him like that and stuff like that. So in the 80s when he got out, he was still, I don't like using the term, but he was still batshit.
Yeah.
He was mad.
We're allowed.
His brain was cracked. He cracked his own brain. So he spent years...
Like Gwyneth Paltrow's box egg.
Yeah. He spent years opening and going through and obsessing about junk mail.
Junk mail?
Junk mail. Got mad into it. Like, reading everything,
really?
Writing letters back to the companies and all like that. I shouldn't laugh at that.
That's brilliant.
I know, it is kind of brilliant. But he started writing letters to... got mad into writing letters to solicitors, his solicitors, other people's solicitors, celebrities. Then he started writing to dead celebrities.
Really?
Yeah. And he got... that's when the police arrested him again for opening other people. He wanted other people's mail then.
He just started
robbing other people's mail. We'll see what they're getting now.
He's not getting enough junk mail, like.
Yeah. So anyway, in 2001, his brother got legal custody of him, and which was brilliant because his brother tidied up all of his legal problems because he had money that wasn't being given to him.
Oh yeah. As most artists.
Yeah. And as well as that, he started to get actual proper legal aid because for a while he was living with his mother, and she wasn't good for him. She wasn't taking care of him. He had an abscess on his tooth that was going into his brain.
Yeah.
And that's when his brother stepped in and went, and they had to bring the ma to court to get custody of Rocky back off the ma. And the judge went, yeah, he nearly died there, well done.
That was sort of ma was fussed as well.
Yeah, yeah. And she used to be awful to him as well growing up. And I think that's where a little spark happens. And if you do so much drugs and you have childhood trauma together, you're something's gonna happen. Of course.
Something has to give.
Yeah. So he started getting his bit of his money back thanks to his brother, which was dead sound. And they reformed in 2015 the 13-4 elevators to do.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it was a big. It used to be called Austin's Psyfest, Psychfest, but they changed the name of it to Levitation for that.
Just for them?
For them, because that was one of their songs. Yeah. It was a huge deal to them because he's a Texas musician. First of all, Texas and psychedelic music, the whole thing was based around that band and stuff like that. He died of unknown causes last year. Actually, you remember that? I think we mentioned it.
I remember, yeah.
We mentioned it on the podcast. And if you want to know more about that, watch the documentary You're Gonna Miss Me. It's really, really, really
That's
good.
That's on Netflix, I think.
It was. I don't know if it is anymore. I remember I watched it when it was on Netflix. Yeah. When it first came on Netflix. You know, Netflix, you could tell someone something's on it, and a few weeks later it's gone off. Yeah. That's a kind of sad story but towards the end, I was looking at some interviews with him and his brother. He was, whatever medication he was on, he was totally content.
All right.
He would just sit there like pouring butter onto his pancakes and just finding that fascinating. But he wasn't in any pain or discomfort or anything like that. And so that's all thanks to his brother getting them on the right medication.
Good.
A huge amount of these stories are people getting medication that is making them worse, which is fucking terrifying.
That seems to be seems to happen a lot.
Yeah.
With not just mental illness, but fucking everything. Look at Ozzy Osbourne. Remember, everybody thought he was just fucked with the tremors and all, and just the drugs he was on.
Not on drink.
Yeah.
He was constantly locked.
Yeah.
That slurred speech was, I was like, shit, and then all of a sudden he gets off and he's talking, well, semi-normally, like.
Better.
Anyway, that song I picked was Two-Headed Dog from 1981, and that is about Vladimir Demikov, who was working for the KGB, who tried to put two heads on the one dog. Literally tried to do that. Who's your first one?
My first one is probably one of the biggest names in batshit at the moment, and it's Kanye West.
Yeah, God, he's got trouble. He's troubled.
Yes.
What should we call it? When people call it troubled. We haven't actually named this podcast.
Yeah, we've gone through a bunch of names for this podcast. I don't know what the fuck we're going to settle on. Don't
want to be annoying people too much. We like annoying people, but not with something like this.
I don't know. I'm just too afraid someone's going to fucking send an envelope full of dog shite to my house or something on fire. I don't know what I'll do. Two-headed dog shite, yeah. So I picked Blame Game just because I kind of like this song.
Such a great song.
It's just a nice little neat song.
It's also a good example of him not giving a shit what people think. I don't know any other rapper that really put out a song like this that wasn't in a funny, jokey way.
Yeah. I don't know any other rapper who puts out most of the stuff that he does, because I don't think he considers himself to be a rapper. I just think, like, first of all, he considers himself to be a genius. Right? He's being out and out brutally honest. He's like, I am the greatest genius of this generation.
Yeah, and I think he's up there.
He's definitely up there.
It depends on how you quantify the term fucking genius. Like,
you can't be just output, because anybody can bang out an album a week. And